Imagine putting your car in gear and nothing happens, or worse, seeing that overdrive light blinking frantically on your dashboard while your vehicle struggles to accelerate. That is the frustrating reality of the P0707 trouble code. It is a generic powertrain code, which technically means it applies to all vehicles equipped with OBD2 systems, but the specific fix can look a little different depending on what you are driving. Basically, this code is telling us that the transmission range sensor, specifically the A circuit, is reporting a low voltage signal to the powertrain control module, or PCM. Think of this sensor as the messenger that tells the computer exactly which gear you have selected. When that signal drops out or gets too low, the computer gets confused. It might not let the car start because it can't confirm you are in park or neutral, or it might force the transmission into a safety mode, often called limp home mode, leaving you with very little power. Now, before you start buying parts, we need to understand what is actually happening electrically. The code description mentions a low condition. This usually points to either an open circuit or a short circuit. Let me explain that simply. An open circuit is like a bridge that has collapsed. The electricity cannot get from point A to point B. Think of a light bulb that burns out because the tiny filament inside broke. That is an open circuit. On the other hand, a short circuit is like dropping a wrench across your battery terminal. The power takes a shortcut to the ground without doing any work. To diagnose this, you're going to need a digital multimeter. You need to check for voltage at specific points in the wiring harness leading to the sensor. If you have voltage going into the sensor but nothing coming out, you are likely looking at a faulty transmission range sensor. However, if you have no voltage even reaching the sensor, you might have a blown fuse or a break in the wiring closer to the battery. If you see voltage on the ground side where there shouldn't be, you might have a short. It is rare, but sometimes the computer itself is the issue, though in my experience, it is almost always the sensor or the wiring. Make sure to fix this as soon as possible, because beyond the annoyance, there is a real safety risk if your car decides to start in gear or shift erratically while you are driving.